Hey, we're about 2 weeks into my 36 by 12 bunkhouse build, and I thought I would show you where we're at and what I did to get there. Okay, so first thing I did is cut down some trees. So if we look over behind me, over here, you'll see this is an example of one of the trees I cut down. There's the trunk there, and this is this piece I removed. And then we drag that to the mill. You'll see the mill stuff in another video where I trimmed it into the support beams. So let's take a look at those. So there we go. Those are the 6x6 support beams. And as you can see, the ground here isn't terribly level. I don't have any heavy equipment to make it level. So what I did was I just dug out all the loose soil, so I got some compact dirt, and I built 14-inch by 14-inch forms, and then I poured those forms full of concrete and leveled the form of the concrete as good as I could. And so that left me with, what was it, I think 18. So I've got 18 footings that the beams are sitting on. But clearly the beams aren't level. So this was the first beam here that I leveled. Oh, well, what we did is I started here because we had to go over this rock that I couldn't move. So that was going to be the high point. So I put the beam onto that support first. And by doing that, I made sure that I was able to get my cross beams over top of the rock. Okay, and now this is one of the first ones that I shored up. And you can see I just used all these different 2x6s and 1x6s, and I could tell that I was going to go through a whole ton of wood. So after getting this first beam perfectly level, then I went back in the woods, cut down another tree, and I milled some more 6x6s, and you can see that's what I did for the following one, so I wouldn't have to go through as many 2x6s. All right, so there we go. So the beams are in, leveled everything. Like I say, first thing I did was level lengthways. Then once I had that, then I leveled across to make sure it was all good and level. All right, and then I got Monique here, and we made sure it was square. If you don't know how to do that, what to do with that is you make sure the lengths are the same length, and the lengths were 36 feet 4 inches, 36 feet 4 inches. And then what I did was you put a tape measure in that corner, and then you measure diagonally to that corner, and then that diagonal needs to be the same as from that corner all the way over to this corner. So once we did that, we knew it was level. And then we knew it was, didn't know it was level, we knew it was square. You really want to start with a square platform. That helps, especially when you get to the roof. All right, and then what I did was I tied a string to that corner and brought it all the way over to this corner. And that's what I've been using to set my floor joists. All right, now, what do we do next? So now we've got the floor joists, and those are 2x6x12. I didn't mill those, I bought those. Reason being is 12-foot logs are pretty hard to move out of the woods with that ATV, and it's a lot of work. So this would have taken, because it's 2x6x12s, it would have taken a lot of logs, a lot of effort. So I just bought the floor joists, 2x6x12. All right, and then what do? Then we... then I have the insulation, right? The styrofoam insulation is another story on another day, but that's all cut and measured. And then I put these supports in, and I use everything from that log, right? I use absolutely everything. So what did I use that log for? Well, primarily I use it for the beam. Secondarily, I used it for flooring, and you'll see that hopefully later this week we'll get the flooring on. I'll explain why we're doing that so soon. And then third, what I did was some of the ends from some of the slabs, I cut 1-inch pieces, which I am now using to support the styrofoam. And then what I didn't use went into the wood burning stove in the house. All right. So this is down 3¼ inches to fit the styrofoam. And then you just rest the styrofoam over there, put the other floor joist across that also has this, and you short in place. Then what we need to do is put the plywood on. Now, this is, I'm not sure if it was a mistake. Yeah, it was, I don't know. Not really a mistake because I saved so much money on the flooring. But I think this is 3/8 plywood. And when you step in the middle, it's a bit spongy, it's a bit soft. I don't really want to walk around on it too much. And when I build those walls, I'm going to be walking along on this a lot. I'm going to be lifting and pushing and doing all that stuff. So what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to put the hardwood floor down. Like I say, I think 80%, maybe more of it milled from cutting the beams. And so I'm going to put that down first. That's not normally what you would do. But by doing that, then I'll have a super solid platform to work from, and I won't have to worry about busting through the plywood. All right, so yeah, so that's going to be the next job. As for the plywood, like I say, it came in almost 4x4 sheets. It's like it's over here. It's like 42 inches by 44 inches. So I just had to cut the styrofoam so that it was like the right thickness, so that when I put it across, the center's lined up with the plywood. And there we have it. And so that is where we stand right now, hoping to get this all polished up and finished today. Like I say, once that's done, tomorrow is a sunny day, and then Thursday and Friday, the next 2 days, are going to be a bit rainy. So I'll get this tarped, try to get the beech hardwood up here. And yeah, the next dry day, actually the cabin is rented this weekend, so I won't be able to do it this weekend, but the next dry day when the cabin's not rented, we'll get building this the floor in, and then we can get going with the walls. So there we have it. This is what's accomplished in the first couple of weeks of, big backlight there. That's what I've accomplished in the first couple of weeks of the 12 by 36 foot bunkhouse build. There we go. So make sure you like, follow, subscribe, or I don't know if you can subscribe to my blog or not, but do that to follow the progress we make with this thing.